We're back, Transformers. All right, we are back for yet another legendary Kleber replay. Because I want to, and because it's awesome. This game is a nasty. It's a yet another nasty stop. I think I'm gonna put up a third one where I lose or something really bad happens because it's glorious to watch this thing go off, and when it goes off hard. But sometimes you can have some bad games. More importantly, due to the style that you're playing the ship, you can have some games where you just, despite the fact you're firing from 6.5 km away, you miss a ton of torps, which is crazy, but it does happen. There are some good players. I've had games that I've both won and I've lost where I may be hit with one torp. But something to remember, maybe I'll try to look for a game with that, is you can be a major distraction. You can absorb a lot of potential damage in the Kleber. So there are things you can do without necessarily doing a lot of damage to win the game. However, in this game, we are going to do some nice damage and show off the power once again of Kleber legendary torpedoes. So we're going into the A-cap. What are we up against here? Montana, Schlieffen, neither of which are a big threat. Colombo, oh my god, Colombo. Minotaur is scary. Zhao is scary if I get spotted. And the Sherman is very scary if I get spotted. Though it should be noted that if you run into a Sherman and a DD, just either face in or face out. SAP does not do any damage to a face-in or face-out ship, or at least very little damage. It's when you show them your side that things are going to go bad real quick. So I'm going for a rather risky strategy here. I'm going for the quick cap, and I'm looking for a good position to kind of YOLO my torpedoes because we're taking swift and silence. We do not have RPF. We don't necessarily know where the ships are going to be, but a Minotaur has been spotted, and actually this would have been a good time to fire. This is a replay. Yeah, I would have fired here. Yeah, there you go. Come on, buddy. Come on. Come on, fire. And once again, because we're playing within this beautiful 1.8 detection radius and torpedo range, we are playing very, very close to the action. Sherman gets radared. This would be a good time to launch my last set of torps. Looks like he might go over there. Oh, and the Sherman takes 10,000 damage from the torpedoes because these torpedoes are going very fast. Another note, especially against boats that sit in smoke, the legendary Kleber can do a lot of nasty, nasty damage, especially if you don't get spotted. Last video I talked briefly about the captain skills, but just to go over them concretely, it's basically all the torpedo skills, preventive maintenance, last stand, adrenaline rush, of course, swift and silence and concealment expert. And unfortunately, we do sacrifice survivability expert because I really, really want that extra torpedo speed because it's badass, and that leaves like a floating point. Like I said, I have IFA on this, but if I could go back in time or I feel like reskilling for 500 doubloons, I would probably actually take turret traverse because you spin around in this ship so much. You do occasionally use your guns. And it's nice because Kleber turrets are very, very slow. Plus, of course, I'm using the semi-legendary French captain on here, the Honneur brothers, so you get an extra 25%. And that is actually helpful because you do end up using your guns once or twice during a match, though not all that much. You could build it with survivability expert and sacrifice torp speed, but that is personally not how I would play. Plus, of course, our goal is to never get spotted, so if you never get spotted, why would you need that health? Showing off here the randomness of the Kleber. We're going so fast, we're always at risk of running into islands. I hit the Sherman with another torpedo, yes. So not something you would expect to see a Sherman versus Kleber engagement with a torpedo, but I have. Someone else dev strikes the minnow, and this game is already a runaway victory. And the beautiful thing here is there's nothing basically but BBs left, which is like my favorite day ever. I also mentioned last video you eat BBs for breakfast, but you also eat cruisers for breakfast. Radar cruisers, just wait for the radar to run out, run back in, they're dead. So I make a big mistake, which is, of course, due to the Kleber speed. I run into his detection radius. We're up against a Schlieffen. Holy shit, I lose like half my health. Plus, my speed boost is gone, so I can't get out of there super quick. But we get out. We did not fire our guns because that is what noobs do in the legendary Kleber. We do not fire our guns. So the second we get 6.2 away, we already won the game. There's nothing they can do. Of course, they're also walking into a Conquer, Yamato, and Des Moines. But we are going to pepper this Schlieffen. And something to notice here, I think we probably hit him. I can't remember watching this replay, but we hit him with quite a few torps. But no dev strikes, as mentioned before. It's actually kind of rare in this ship to get dev strikes. You can fire both, but ships who know you're there and ranked, and they do end up knowing you're there, they're like, I know the Kleber's over here. They juke a lot, they turn a lot, they try to do a lot of tricksy tricks. But your torpedoes just do so much damage. You hit 1, 2, 3, 4, they're dead. But that's usually in the space of about a minute. The other strength to this ship, and I don't know if he's running Hydra or not, he probably is. The torps are going so fast, though, typically they can't even dodge them. They never expect them to come that fast. People don't know that the torpedoes in the Kleber reload in like 60 seconds, so they rarely expect another set. I don't even think I fire again because I know I've got them dead to rights. And boom, boom, melted. 3 torpedo hits. I think in chat they start talking about it, and I tell them, please, God, do not play this ship in randoms, but it is super fun and ranked. And here comes the next target. Colombo is helpless. He is going to get owned. And we know that he's turning out a little bit. He's doing some tricks, but I don't think he's going to go too far off track because you don't want to show anything to the Conqueror but your face. And we make the classic Kleber mistake. I think I was typing, though. But we do get in his detection range, which is, of course, double bad because he could probably dev strike me, but also he knows I'm there. So he's probably going to start doing turnouts and random things. I decide to YOLO spread the last set just in case. But it doesn't matter. The first set did its job. Bam, he's done. Erased, deleted from the face of the earth. And then I think I put on autopilot and just start chatting because obviously the game's opener. I'm going to look for a game that ends up in a loss or maybe a challenging game for another video because, like I said, I think earlier here, there are games that can go very, very wrong in the Legendary Kleber. In fact, talking about weaknesses, you are helpless against gunboat DDs. The absolute best thing to do is try to be aware of where they are, avoid them, and if you run into them, immediately turn out and run away, which is a far better option than firing your guns once, doing a decent amount of damage, but then they kill you because you're detected for 30 seconds, and it doesn't really matter what you do, and you are not going to be far enough away to dodge all those shots because, once again, in the Legendary Kleber, you are playing in very, very close quarters. In some other game where this might have lasted, I might have made it to the Zao. If you look on the minimap, the Zao is at the end of the world. And if we weren't already so far up, though, I probably would have been the one to track him down and kill him because, once again, 58 knots. So, such a fun time playing this ship. It's weird. I wasn't running music when I played the game. I tried to turn music on the replay, but it didn't happen. So, yeah. Just another blowout. Bam, 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 bam. Which is fun to watch. And I think I'm going to post another game where I lose or do badly. In fact, there's not much else to see here. I think we can fast forward. But the Golden Lu, the Des Moines, they just all rock in and this Zao melts. Because that's what Japanese cruisers do. So, roll out here. I'm going to get my hand on the stop recording button. As I recall, I think he exploded pretty quick. Doing Zao things. Japanese cruisers, man. I don't know what to say. I think, what did they buff his HP? Like 2,000? That makes a big difference, doesn't it? All right, ready? 5, 4, 3. I'd love to stick around for the ending, which is going to happen right about now. No, he's still alive. Anyway, Undependable signing out.